On our wedding night, he turned away, whispering that he was tired. 10 days later, I was still untouched, still a virgin, wondering what was wrong with me. But then I opened the door too soon, and the truth shattered my world. My husband was cheating, and not with who you'd ever imagine. My name is Elena. I'm 30 years old. And this is the story of how I discovered that being chosen isn't the same as being loved. I need you to understand something first. I need you to know why that rejection on my wedding night hurt so much. Why it wasn't just disappointment. It was confirmation. I was 8 years old the first time I learned I was ugly. 2 boys on the playground, making a list of the prettiest girls in 3rd grade. They went through every girl in our class. Sarah Mitchell, pretty. Jessica Torres, really pretty. Emma Chen, super pretty. When they got to me, one boy said, "Elena Rodriguez doesn't count." Why not? Because she's ugly. I was standing 10 feet away, holding my lunchbox, hearing it. 8-year-olds don't lie. They say what everyone else is thinking but won't say out loud. That was the day I stopped looking in mirrors. At 12, I overheard my aunt talking to my mother. They didn't know I was in the next room, folding napkins for my cousin's quinceañera. "You're Elena," my aunt said. "Have you thought about what you're going to do?" "Do about what?" "About finding her a husband. That one is going to have trouble, Patricia. Some girls have to work harder. It's not her fault she got Antonio's nose and your mother's chin." I went to the bathroom after that, looked at myself for the first time in years, made a catalog of everything wrong with my face. Antonio's nose, too broad. My grandmother's chin, too weak. Eyes too small. Mouth too wide. Face too round. I added to that list for the next 18 years. High school was exactly what you'd expect. I wasn't bullied. That would have required someone to notice me. I was invisible. While other girls got asked to homecoming, to prom, to the movies, I studied in the library. Can't be rejected if you're always too busy, right? I got a 4.0 GPA. Got into college on a full scholarship. My mother cried at graduation. I told myself the tears were pride, but I knew. They were relief that at least I'd have a career. Since I clearly wasn't going to have a husband, college was 4 more years of the same. I had friends, good friends. Sarah became my roommate and somehow saw past what everyone else saw, or didn't see. But we never talked about the one thing that hung over my life like a storm cloud. Why I'd never been on a date. At 23, Sarah got engaged. At her bachelorette party, after too much wine, one of her friends looked at me. "You know what, Elena? You have such a great personality. Guys are really missing out." The but hung in the air, unspoken, deafening. At 25, I started therapy. "When did you first start feeling unlovable?" Dr. Chen asked. "Feeling implies it's just a feeling," I said. I had it confirmed at 8, accepted it as reality at 16, stopped fighting it at 23 when I realized I'd never been kissed. Never? She tried to hide her surprise. Failed. Not once. Not even a bad kiss. Not even spin the bottle at a middle school party. I laughed. It came out wrong. Hard to be chosen for spin the bottle when you don't count as a girl in the first place. We worked together for 2 years. I made progress, I think. I stopped actively hating my reflection, downgraded it to mild disappointment. I learned to say nice things about myself, even if I didn't believe them, small victories. But at night, lying alone in my bed, the truth sat on my chest like a weight. I was going to die alone. Not because of anything I'd done wrong, just because of how I looked. At 28, I went to my 10th high school reunion. Mistake. Everyone had photos. Their kids, their spouses, their lives. They asked about my partner with automatic assumption. Everyone pairs off eventually, right? "Just focusing on my career right now," I'd say, and they'd nod. "Oh, honey, we understand." They didn't. They thought I'd chosen work over family. They didn't understand that chose requires options. I drove home from that reunion and sat in my car for an hour. 28 years old, never been kissed, never been touched. Never had someone look at me with want. The ache was physical, a hollowness in my chest that no amount of success could fill. That was my state of mind when, 2 years later, I walked into a hotel conference room in Chicago and met Patrick Taylor, the man who seemed like a miracle. The work conference in Chicago wasn't something I wanted to attend. My boss forced me. "You need to network, Elena. Get out of the office, represent the company." What she meant was, stop hiding. So I went. Navy suit, professional makeup, not to look pretty, to look competent. There's a difference. I knew it intimately. The networking mixer was hell. Hotel ballroom, mediocre wine, forced small talk. I positioned myself in the corner, phone out, glass of wine I wasn't drinking, looking busy. That's when he approached. "You look like you'd rather be anywhere else." I looked up. The man in front of me was objectively attractive. Tall, dark hair graying at the temples, blue eyes that crinkled when he smiled, the kind of man who didn't usually see me. "Is it that obvious?" I asked. "Only to someone who feels the same way." He extended his hand. "Patrick Taylor. I sell commercial insurance to people who wish they didn't have to buy it." I shook his hand. Firm grip, not aggressive. "Elena Rodriguez. I also do something with insurance that I won't bore you with." He laughed. Actually laughed. "Want to be bored together? There's a quieter bar down the street." Every instinct screamed this was a joke, a mistake. Men who looked like Patrick Taylor didn't invite women who looked like me to bars. But he was looking at me with genuine interest, and I was 30 years old. And when would I ever get another chance? "Sure," I said. "Let me grab my coat." We walked 3 blocks to a small bar. Dark. Smelled like old wood and beer. He ordered bourbon. I ordered wine. Actually drank it this time. Needed something to do with my hands. "So," he said, "what brings you to this riveting insurance conference?" And just like that, we were talking. Really talking. Not surface-level conference chatter. Not awkward first-date interrogation. We talked about books. He just finished the same novel I had. About travel. Neither of us had been anywhere exotic, but we both wanted to. About that specific loneliness of working in corporate environments, surrounded by people but never truly known. 3 hours disappeared. The bartender started giving us looks. "We close eventually," his face said. Patrick paid the bill. We walked back toward our hotels. "I had a really good time," he said. I braced myself. "Here it comes. Let's keep in touch." Never contact me again. Instead, he pulled out his phone. "Can I have your number? I'd like to call you." I gave him my number, hands trembling, certain this was the end. 2 days later, back in Denver, my phone rang. Unknown number. "Elena, it's Patrick from Chicago." That night, I cried in my apartment. Not from sadness, from the overwhelming terror of hope, the courtship that should have been a warning. We talked every day for 2 weeks, long phone calls, both pretending we had other things to do, neither wanting to hang up. He told me about his job, growing up in Connecticut, his father's battle with cancer. "He's getting worse," Patrick said one night, voice heavy. "Doctors say maybe 6 months, maybe less. And I keep thinking about all the things he wanted to see me do. Get married, have kids. He's from that generation where that stuff really matters." "I'm sorry," I said. Inadequate words. "It is, especially because I know I've disappointed him. I'm 35, single, no prospects. He wanted to walk a daughter-in-law down the aisle before—" His voice broke. We sat in silence. "Tell me something happy," he said. "Please. I need to think about anything other than hospital rooms." So I told him about my students. I taught financial literacy at the community college. Told him about Mrs. Chen, 73, taking my class because she'd never been allowed to handle money in her marriage. After her husband died, she didn't know how. "That's beautiful," Patrick said softly. "You're really making a difference." No one had ever said that to me. Not like that. Not like they meant it. 3 weeks after Chicago, he drove to Denver, 5 hours each way. "I wanted to see you," he said, standing in my doorway with flowers, grocery store flowers, nothing fancy, but flowers. We went to dinner, mid-range Italian place, checkered tablecloths, breadsticks. He asked about my life, my family, my dreams. He told me about his father, about feeling like time was running out to become the man his parents hoped he'd be. After dinner, we walked downtown. October, crisp, cool. He offered me his jacket even though I said I was fine. At the end of the night, outside my apartment, he kissed my forehead. Not my lips, my forehead. "I had a wonderful time," he said. "Can I see you again?" I nodded, didn't trust my voice. That night, I told myself the forehead kiss was respectful, sweet. A man who didn't rush things. I absolutely did not let myself think it was a man who couldn't quite bring himself to kiss me properly. Over the next 3 months, Patrick came to Denver every other weekend. Dinners, movies, botanical gardens, hours of conversation. He'd tell me I was special, that he valued our connection, that he was so glad he'd met me. And he'd kiss my forehead, my cheek occasionally, lips to lips exactly 3 times, each lasting approximately 1.5 seconds. I told myself this was romance. This was proper courtship. I had no other frame of reference. Maybe those movies and books lied about passion. Maybe real adult relationships were calm and measured and sensible. My friends were less convinced. "Elena," Sarah said over brunch, "I'm not trying to be a bitch, but has he ever actually kissed you? Like really kissed you?" "We kiss. Honey, I've seen grandmothers kiss grandchildren with more passion." "He's respectful. He doesn't want to rush things." "You've been dating 3 months. Things should have progressed past hand-holding." I picked at my eggs Benedict. Suddenly, not hungry. Maybe he's traditional, or maybe... I couldn't finish. Maybe he's not attracted to me. Maybe he's trying to work up to it. Maybe this is pity. Sarah grabbed my hand. Or maybe he's a decent guy taking things at his pace. You should talk to him about what you want instead of assuming the worst. But I couldn't talk to him, because talking meant admitting I wanted more. And admitting I wanted more meant risking him confirming what I'd always known, that I wasn't the kind of woman who inspired desire. So I said nothing. And Patrick kept coming to Denver, being kind, attentive, emotionally available, and never, not once, looking at me with hunger. 4 months after we met, Patrick called on a Tuesday night, voice strained. "My father took a turn for the worse today. Doctors say weeks now, maybe days." "Patrick, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do?" Long pause. "Actually, yes. Elena, I know this is fast. I know we've only been dating 4 months, but these past months with you have been the happiest of my life." My heart started racing. "You're kind and smart and genuine in a way I've never experienced. You make me want to be a better man. And my father, he's been asking about you. Wants to know when he'll meet the woman who's made me smile again. I'd love to meet him." "That's not..." Deep breath. "Elena, I know this is crazy. I know people will say it's too soon. But when you know, you know. And I know." "Know what?" "That I want to spend my life with you. That I want you to be my wife. Elena Rodriguez, will you marry me?" The world stopped. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. This was it. The moment I'd given up hoping for. The miracle I'd stopped believing in. Someone wanted to marry me. "Yes," I whispered. Then louder. "Yes, of course, yes." Relief in his voice. "Thank you. God, Elena, thank you. I know the timing is unusual with my father being sick, but that's actually why. He wants to see me married before he dies. It's his dying wish. Would you be willing to do something small? Soon? I know every girl dreams of a big wedding, but... Patrick, I don't need a big wedding. I just need you." I meant it. 30 years being unchosen. If this man needed to get married quickly so his dying father could have peace, what kind of person would I be to say no? 4 weeks, small ceremony, immediate family only. Patrick sent me money for a dress. Get whatever makes you feel beautiful. Sweet. Even though we both knew no dress could accomplish that particular miracle. I called Sarah. I'm getting married. Holy shit, he proposed. Elena, wait, when? 4 weeks from Saturday. Silence. 4 weeks? Elena, you've known this guy 4 months. When you know, you know. That's what people say in rom-coms before everything goes horribly wrong. His father is dying, Sarah. He wants Patrick settled before he goes. It's romantic. It's fast. I'm 30 years old. If I wait for perfect timing, I'll be waiting forever. What I didn't say, I was terrified if we waited, Patrick would change his mind, would wake up one day and see me clearly, would realize he could do so much better. 4 weeks until I became someone's wife. 4 weeks until I was chosen. Officially, legally. 4 weeks until my real life finally began. Or so I thought. The wedding was everything I'd dreamed of. Small but perfect. 30 people. Hotel ballroom. White dress I'd found on sale. Simple. Elegant. Made me feel almost pretty. Patrick stood at the altar in his navy suit, smiled when he saw me walk down the aisle. His father was there, wheelchair, oxygen tank. But there, crying as we said our vows. I do, Patrick said. Clear voice, looking into my eyes. I do, I said, meaning it with everything in me. The officiant pronounced us husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Patrick leaned in, kissed me, briefly, chastely, like all the other kisses. Everyone clapped. His father was beaming. My mother was crying. We cut the cake, had our first dance to a song Patrick picked, something classic and safe. I can't believe you're my wife, he whispered as we danced. I can't believe you're my husband. And I couldn't. After 30 years of invisibility, someone had chosen me. The reception lasted 4 hours. Dinner, toasts. Patrick's best man made a speech about what a great guy Patrick was, how lucky I was. I agreed. I was lucky. So lucky. We left around 9. Rose petals. Cheers. His father squeezed my hand. Take care of my boy, he whispered. I will, I promise. We drove to the hotel, honeymoon suite. Patrick had booked it as a surprise. I'd packed a bag with special lingerie, black lace, something I'd never worn before. Spent $200 I didn't have. In the car, Patrick was quiet. You okay? I asked. Just tired. It's been a long day. The longest, I agreed, but the best. He smiled, reached over and squeezed my hand. At the hotel, a bellhop took our bags. We rode the elevator to the 10th floor. The suite was beautiful. Rose petals on the bed, champagne on ice, candles everywhere. Wow, I breathed. Patrick, this is beautiful. Only the best for my wife. He kissed my forehead. I went to the bathroom to change, hands shaking as I put on the black lace, looked at myself in the mirror. Still me, still plain, still hoping the lingerie would somehow make me desirable. Brushed my teeth, put on perfume, took 3 deep breaths. This was it. My wedding night. The night I'd been waiting for my entire life. I opened the bathroom door. Patrick was in bed, fully dressed, in pajamas, long pants, long-sleeved shirt, buttoned to the top. He looked at me, at the lingerie. His face didn't change. Come to bed, he said. I'm exhausted. I stood there. Black lace, rose petals, champagne, candles. Patrick, it's our wedding night. I know, and it's been perfect. But I'm so tired, sweetheart. The day was so long. Can we just sleep tonight? The words hit me like a physical blow. Can we just sleep tonight? Our wedding night. I nodded. Couldn't speak. Went back to the bathroom, changed into normal pajamas, washed off the perfume. When I came out, Patrick was already under the covers. Eyes closed. I slipped into bed on my side, as far from him as possible. Lay there, staring at the ceiling. Rose petals scattered around us. Champagne going flat. Told myself it was normal. Wedding days were long and stressful. We were both tired. Tomorrow would be different. But my hands were shaking under the covers. because a small voice whispered, "See? Even on your wedding night, no one wants you. I didn't sleep that night. Not 1 minute. Just lay there." Listening to my husband breathe, wondering what was so wrong with me that even marriage couldn't fix it. I woke up before Patrick, watched him sleep, tried to see past the handsome face to whatever was underneath. He opened his eyes, smiled. "Good morning, Mrs. Taylor." "Mrs. Taylor," I was somebody's Mrs. now. "Morning," I said, tried to keep my voice light. "How'd you sleep?" "Like a rock. You?" "Great." Lie. He stretched, got out of bed. "I'm going to shower. Then maybe we can get breakfast. There's supposed to be a great place down the street." "Sounds perfect." He kissed my forehead, went to the bathroom, closed the door. I heard the water turn on, stayed in bed, staring at those rose petals, untouched, like me. Maybe tonight, I told myself. Tonight would be different. Breakfast was nice. We talked about the wedding, about how beautiful everything was, about his father's joy. "He looked so happy," I said. "He was. You made him happy. Thank you for that." After breakfast, we walked around the city, held hands, took pictures, acted like newlyweds, but there was something, a distance, a carefulness in how he touched me. That afternoon, we went back to the hotel. I tried to initiate, put my hand on his chest, leaned in to kiss him. He pulled back. "I'm not feeling great. Stomach's a little upset. Must have been something at breakfast." "Oh, do you need medicine?" "No, I just need to lie down for a bit." He spent the rest of the day in bed. I sat in a chair by the window, watched the city, wondered. That night, I tried again, changed into the lingerie, came out of the bathroom. Patrick was in his full pajamas again. Patrick. "I'm really not feeling well, Elena. I'm sorry. Tomorrow, okay? I promise. Tomorrow." I changed back into normal clothes, got into bed, lay there, not touching. 2 people in a king-sized bed with an ocean between them. Day 2 of marriage, still a virgin. Day 3, headache. Day 4, work stress, too much on his mind. Day 5, I tried something different. There was a boutique in the hotel, expensive lingerie. I bought 3 sets, spent $400 I definitely didn't have. White lace, red silk, black mesh. "This will work," the saleswoman said. "Your husband won't be able to resist." I wanted to believe her. That night, I put on the red silk, did my makeup, perfume, lit every candle in the suite, came out of the bathroom. Patrick was on his phone. Didn't look up. "Elena, I need to talk to you about something." My stomach dropped. "What?" "Work called. There's a crisis. I need to fly back tomorrow instead of next week." "Tomorrow? But we're on our honeymoon." "I know, I'm so sorry. But this is important. My job, more important than our honeymoon?" He finally looked at me, saw the red silk. His expression didn't change, at all. "Elena, don't make this about you. This is my career, our future. You understand, right?" I nodded, because what else could I do? He went back to his phone, started making calls. I sat on the bed, in red silk, surrounded by candles, feeling like the stupidest woman alive. That night, he fell asleep before I even came out of the bathroom. I cried in the shower, quiet, so he wouldn't hear. Day 5, still untouched. We flew home day 6. Patrick was relieved. I could tell. Relieved to be away from the honeymoon. From me. Day 7 was our first night in our new apartment. The place we'd rented together. Our first home. I'd spent weeks decorating it, making it perfect. Our bedroom had new sheets, new comforter, soft lighting. "This is nice," Patrick said, looking around. "You did a great job." "Thanks. I wanted it to feel like home." We unpacked, ordered dinner, Chinese food, ate it on the couch, normal, domestic, like roommates. After dinner, I decided to try again. 6 days of marriage, 0 intimacy. This had to be addressed. "Patrick," I said carefully, "can we talk? About us, about the physical side of our relationship." His face closed off. "What about it?" We've been married a week and we haven't— I couldn't even say it. We haven't been together. Elena, I've been tired and stressed and dealing with work. You know all this. I know. But Patrick, this isn't normal. Most couples on their honeymoon— Most couples aren't dealing with a dying parent and work crises. Maybe you should be more understanding instead of pressuring me. I'm not pressuring you. I'm your wife. I just want— What? What do you want, Elena? The question hung there, ugly, accusatory. I want my husband to want me, I whispered. His expression changed, softened. He came over, sat next to me. I do want you. Of course I do. I married you, didn't I? Then why? Some people just need more time, Elena. I'm not like those guys in movies who can just— He made a vague gesture. I need emotional connection before physical. And with everything happening with my father and work, I'm just not in the right headspace. Can't you be patient? Patient. I'd been patient for 30 years. Okay, I said. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pressure you. It's okay. He kissed my forehead. I promise, when the time is right, it'll be perfect. Worth waiting for. He went to brush his teeth, left me sitting on the couch. I just apologized. Apologized for wanting my husband to touch me. That night, I lay in our new bed, in our new apartment, next to my new husband who stayed on his side, and wondered how long I could live like this. Day 10 was when I started Googling. 2 a.m., couldn't sleep. Patrick breathing steadily beside me. I took my phone to the bathroom, closed the door, sat on the cold tile floor. Why doesn't my husband want me? Is my marriage normal? How long should you wait for intimacy? What does it mean when your husband won't touch you? Every article said the same thing: communication, understanding, patience. But every time I tried to communicate, he made me feel like the problem. Day 12, I stopped eating breakfast. Couldn't stomach it. Day 14, Sarah called. How's married life? Perfect, I lied. Everything's perfect. You sound tired. Just adjusting. You know how it is. But she didn't know, because I couldn't tell her. Couldn't admit that my husband of 2 weeks still hadn't consummated our marriage. Couldn't say the words, I'm still a virgin. Day 16, I tried a different approach. Made his favorite dinner. Wore a nice dress. Did my hair and makeup. He came home late. Sorry, got caught up at work. The dinner was cold. I'd already put it away. That's okay, I said. I can reheat it. I already ate. Grabbed something with the team. He didn't even look at me. Went straight to the shower. Long shower. Always long showers when he came home. Day 18, I bought new perfume, the expensive kind. The girl at the counter promised it was intoxicating. I wore it to bed. Patrick sneezed. That perfume is really strong. Do you mind washing it off? I washed it off. Day 20, I lost it. He came home, started heading for the shower. Patrick, stop. He turned, surprised by my tone. We need to talk right now, not later, not tomorrow, now. He sighed, put down his briefcase. Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? Patrick, we've been married 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And you haven't touched me once. That's not true. I touch you all the time. I hold your hand. You know what I mean. We haven't been intimate. Not once. Most couples on their honeymoon. Why are you obsessed with this? His voice rose. Is sex all you think about? The irony. Me, the 30-year-old virgin, being called obsessed with sex. If you're finding this as absurd as I did, hit that subscribe button. This story gets so much worse before it gets better. I'm not obsessed. I just want to feel wanted by my own husband. Maybe the problem is you're not attractive enough. The words hung in the air. I felt them physically, like a slap. He immediately realized what he'd said. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm stressed. But the words were out. My worst fear, spoken by my own husband. I wasn't attractive enough, even for the man who married me. I walked to our bedroom, closed the door, locked it, sat on the floor, back against the door, and cried. Not loud crying, quiet, the kind that comes from somewhere deep and broken. He knocked. Elena, please, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But he did. People don't say things they don't mean when they're angry. They say things they've been thinking all along. Day 21, I called in sick to work. Couldn't face anyone. Patrick had already left before I woke up. Note on the counter. Had to go in early. Love you. Love you. 2 words that meant nothing. I spent the day in bed, staring at the ceiling, doing math in my head. 30 years as an ugly girl. 3 weeks as an unwanted wife. When would it end? When would someone finally want me? Day 23. His father died. Patrick got the call at 3 a.m. I heard him on the phone, voice breaking. When? How? I'll be there in an hour. He hung up, sat on the edge of the bed, shoulders shaking. For the first time since our wedding, I saw him cry. I put my hand on his back. I'm so sorry. He turned, fell into my arms, sobbed. I held him. This man who wouldn't touch me intimately but needed me now, in his grief. We stayed like that for an hour. Then he pulled away, wiped his eyes. I need to go. The funeral home, the arrangements. I'll come with you. No, stay here. I need to do this alone. He left. I was alone in our apartment, thinking. His father died having seen Patrick married, mission accomplished, and hating myself for thinking it. The funeral was day 25. I wore black, stood next to Patrick, played the grieving daughter-in-law. His mother hugged me. Thank you for making him happy. My husband died happy knowing Patrick had you. I smiled, nodded, wanted to scream. After the funeral, everyone came back to Patrick's childhood home. I helped serve food, made small talk, pretended. Patrick's college friend pulled him aside. I was close enough to hear. How's married life, man? Patrick laughed. It's an adjustment. Bet you're not getting much sleep though, right? Wink, nudge, Patrick's face. I watched it. He smiled, went along with the implication. You know how it is. But his friend didn't know, because it was a lie. Day 27, things got worse. Patrick had been distant since the funeral, which I understood. Grief does strange things. But this was different. He started working late every night, came home after I was already in bed. His phone, always face down on the table. New cologne, one I didn't recognize. That's different, I said one morning. The cologne. Oh, yeah, someone at work recommended it. Someone at work. Day 28, I found a hotel receipt. Not on purpose. I was doing laundry. It fell out of his pants pocket. The Marriott downtown. 2 nights ago, the night he said he was working late on a presentation. My hands shook holding that receipt. Room 412. Checked in at 7 p.m. Checked out at 11 p.m. 4 hours. I sat on the bedroom floor, receipt in my hand, mind racing. Maybe it was work. Maybe they had a late meeting and needed a conference room. But conference rooms don't have checkout times, and conference rooms don't cost $200 for 4 hours. I put the receipt back in his pocket, said nothing, because I was terrified of the answer. Day 29, he came home early. I was making dinner, pasta, his favorite. Smells good, he said. Thanks. Thought we could have a nice dinner together. It's been a while. Actually, I can't stay. I have a work thing. A work thing? It's Friday night. Team dinner, building morale after the rough week. I tried to get out of it, but it's fine. It wasn't fine. Go. He kissed my forehead, left. I ate pasta alone, the whole pot, stress eating for the first time in my life. Then I made a decision. I was going to follow him, not because I didn't trust him, because I needed to know, needed to see with my own eyes what was keeping him away from me. I grabbed my keys, got in my car, drove to his office building. His car was still in the parking lot. I waited. 30 minutes, an hour. Finally, he came out, got in his car, started driving. I followed, far enough back that he wouldn't notice. He didn't drive to a restaurant. He drove to the Marriott, downtown. My stomach dropped. He parked, went inside. I sat in my car, shaking, trying to decide what to do. Go in? Confront him? Pretend I didn't see? I waited another 20 minutes. Then I couldn't take it anymore. I got out, walked to the hotel, pushed through the revolving doors. The lobby was nice, modern, music playing softly. I looked around, didn't see Patrick anywhere. Asked the front desk. "Excuse me, my husband, Patrick Taylor, what room is he in?" The clerk looked uncomfortable. "I'm sorry, ma'am, we can't give out guest information." "I'm his wife." "I understand, but our policy—" "Please, I just need to know if he's here." She looked at me, saw something in my face. Pity, maybe. "Room 412, she whispered. "The same room, from the receipt." I took the elevator, 4th floor, walked down the hall, found room 412, stood outside the door, hand raised to knock, heard voices inside, Patrick's voice, and another voice, deeper, male. My hand froze. I pressed my ear to the door. "We need to be more careful. She's starting to suspect." Patrick's voice. "Then tell her the truth." The other voice, definitely male. "I can't. Not yet. I need 5 more years. The will stipulates—" 5 years of lying to her? Patrick, that's cruel. "It's necessary. The inheritance is $2 million. My mother will disown me if I don't stay married. If she finds out I'm—" Silence. Then, "If she finds out I'm gay." The world tilted. I grabbed the wall to stay upright. Gay. My husband was gay, and I was his cover. I should have knocked, should have burst in, should have done something. Instead, I ran, down the hall, into the elevator, through the lobby, to my car, drove home, hands shaking so hard I could barely hold the wheel, got to our apartment, ran inside, locked the door, fell to the floor, and screamed. Not loud, just a long, quiet scream that came from 30 years of pain finally finding a name. He didn't want me because he couldn't want me. Not because I was ugly, not because I was undesirable, because I was a woman, and he liked men. Day 30. The day I'd been married exactly 1 month. I didn't sleep, couldn't eat, just sat on the couch, waiting. Patrick came home at 8 a.m., looking tired, rumpled. "Hey," he said. "Sorry I'm late. The team dinner went long and I crashed at David's place." David, the name he'd said through the hotel door. "How was it?" I asked. Voice flat. "Good, really good. We needed the bonding time." Bonding time. He went to shower, long shower. I sat there, numb. When he came out, I was still on the couch. "Elena, you okay?" "I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth." He tensed. "Okay. Are you gay?" The color drained from his face. "What? Why would you—" "I followed you last night. To the hotel. I heard you. Heard you talking to David. Heard you say you needed 5 more years. Heard you say you needed to hide who you really are." He sat down, heavily, like his legs wouldn't hold him. "Elena, don't lie anymore. I can't take any more lies." Silence. Long, horrible silence. Then, yes. One word. The truth that explained everything. "How long have you known?" "Since I was 15. "And the marriage? Was any of it real?" He looked at me. Finally. Really looked at me. "I needed to get married. My father was dying. The will says I have to be married for 5 years to inherit. If I'm not, He swallowed. "If I'm living in sin, as my mother puts it, I get nothing. No inheritance, no business. Disowned. So you found me. I didn't mean to hurt you. You married me knowing you'd never love me, knowing you'd never want me. You chose me specifically because you thought I'd be grateful, because you saw how desperate I was." He didn't deny it. "I saw you at that conference, saw how you looked at me, like I was the answer to every prayer. You were 30, never married. I thought, You thought I'd be so desperate to be someone's wife that I wouldn't notice I was never actually wanted. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Patrick? Explain it to me. He ran his hands through his hair. I was desperate. My father was dying, every day asking when I'd get married, my mother threatening to cut me off. Conversion therapy didn't work. You can't change who you are. So I learned to hide, to pretend. And I was convenient. You were kind and lonely, and I thought we could make it work. I thought if I was a good husband in every other way, you'd be happy just being married. There it was. He thought being chosen would be enough, that I'd be so grateful someone married me, I wouldn't care that he didn't actually want me. I loved you, I whispered. I actually loved you. I know, I'm sorry. You used me. You saw my pain and you weaponized it. Every insecurity I had, you counted on. I didn't have a choice. Yes, you did. You chose to destroy someone else to save yourself. I stood up, went to the bedroom, started packing a bag. He followed me. Where are you going? Away from you. Elena, please, we can work this out. The money I can give you. I don't want your money. I want my dignity back. I zipped the bag, walked past him. Elena, you can't just leave. We're married. I stopped at the door, turned. We were never really married, Patrick. You made sure of that. I left, drove to Sarah's apartment, showed up at her door at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. She took one look at my face and pulled me inside. What happened? And I told her. Everything. The wedding night, the 30 days, the hotel, the truth. When I finished, she was crying. That son of a bitch, she whispered. That absolute son of a bitch. Everyone at the wedding saw me so happy. I was glowing. I thought my life had finally started. Elena, now everyone will know, the virgin bride who stayed a virgin in marriage. It's like a cruel joke. Sarah grabbed my hands. Listen to me. This is not your fault. None of this is your fault. But maybe if I'd been prettier, if I'd been... Stop. He's gay, Elena. This has nothing to do with you. He would have done this to whoever he married. But he chose me because he knew I'd be easy to manipulate. That truth sat between us, heavy and undeniable. Sarah let me stay, set up her couch for me, made me tea I didn't drink, food I couldn't eat. I spent 3 days there, not moving, not speaking, just existing in the ruins of everything I'd believed. Day 4, Patrick called. I didn't answer. Day 5, he called again, and again, left voicemails. Elena, please, we need to talk. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Please call me back. Day 6, his mother called. I answered by accident, thought it was Sarah. Elena, this is Margaret Taylor, Patrick's mother. Mrs. Taylor. Patrick tells me you've left, that you're divorcing him. Yes. May I ask why? He won't tell me. Ask your son. I'm asking you. You're my daughter-in-law. I deserve to know why you're breaking up our family. Breaking up their family, as if I was the problem. Your son is gay, Mrs. Taylor. He married me to hide it from you, to get his inheritance. Silence. Then, that's impossible. Patrick has always been a liar. He's always been a liar, and you made him one. Your conditions, your will, your religion. You turned him into someone who had to destroy someone else to survive. How dare you? I hung up. Blocked her number. 1 week. I'd been gone 1 week. Sarah made me shower, made me eat, made me get out of pajamas. You need to file for divorce, she said. Officially. End this. I don't even know how. I'll help you find a lawyer. We'll get through this. 2 weeks later, I met with an attorney, Laura Chen, 50s, kind eyes, firm handshake. Tell me everything, she said. I did. The whole story, from Chicago to the hotel room. She took notes, didn't react, professional. When I finished, she looked up. I'm going to be honest with you, Elena. This is going to be difficult. Proving fraud in marriage is hard. but we have a few things working in our favor. Like what? The marriage was never consummated. That's grounds for annulment in this state. The fact that he married you under false pretenses, that he was gay and hiding it, the financial motive, we can build a case. How long will it take? 6 months minimum, maybe more if he fights it. Will he fight it? Depends on how much he needs that inheritance. 3 weeks after I left, Patrick's lawyer called Laura. He wanted to negotiate. He's offering you $50,000 to stay married for 4 more years. After that, amicable divorce. You keep half of everything. No. Elena, that's a lot of money. I don't care. I'd rather have nothing than 1 more day in that lie. Patrick called me directly that night. I'd unblocked him to coordinate the divorce. Elena, please. 50,000 now, 100 when we divorce. You'd never have to work again. I don't want your money, Patrick. Then what do you want? I want the last 30 days of my life back. Can you give me that? Silence. I didn't think so. Sign the divorce papers. Let me go. I can't. The will says, I don't care about your inheritance. I don't care about your mother's conditions. I care that you looked at a broken woman and saw an opportunity instead of a person. I never meant. Yes, you did. You meant all of it. Every choice you made was deliberate. Every lie was calculated. You didn't accidentally hurt me, Patrick. You strategically destroyed me. I hung up. That night, I stood on Sarah's balcony, 6 floors up, looked down at the street, thought, the pain has to stop somehow. Stood there. I don't know how long. Heard Sarah's voice behind me. Elena. She didn't grab me, didn't yell, just said, he didn't reject you. He rejected himself. But he still rejected me. No, he used you. There's a difference. You can't be rejected by someone who never saw you in the first place. Those words, they saved my life. I turned away from the edge, let Sarah hug me, cried, not quiet crying, loud, ugly, broken crying, the kind that comes when you finally admit you almost gave up. I'm taking you to the hospital, Sarah said. I'm fine. No, you're not, and that's okay, but I need you to be safe. I spent 3 days in a psychiatric hold, voluntarily, 3 days of therapy, medication, rest. 3 days of learning that suicidal thoughts didn't make me weak. They made me human. When I got out, Sarah had made an appointment. Dr. Morrison, therapist specializing in trauma and betrayal. I don't want to talk to a stranger, I said. Go once. If you hate it, never go back. I went. Dr. Morrison was 50s, gray hair, warm smile, office that smelled like lavender. Tell me what happened, she said. I told her, all of it. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. You experienced a profound betrayal compounded by lifelong trauma around your self-worth. Can you fix me? I can help you understand something crucial. His inability to love you says nothing about your lovability. But, Elena, he's gay. This was never about you. Even if you'd been the most beautiful woman in the world, he still wouldn't have wanted you. Because he doesn't want women. The words hit different, hearing them from a professional. So I'm not. It wasn't because I'm ugly? You're not ugly, but even if you were, it wouldn't matter. He was never going to want you, not because of anything wrong with you, because of who he is. I cried. Again. Different tears this time. Relief, tears. The work we need to do, Dr. Morrison continued, is helping you understand that your worth was never determined by whether men wanted you. You've spent 30 years believing the wrong thing. What's the right thing? That you get to decide your worth. Not playground boys, not your aunt, not Patrick. You. I saw Dr. Morrison twice a week for the next 3 months, learned things I'd never known. That trauma changes your brain. That self-worth isn't something you're born with, that healing isn't linear. 4 months after I left Patrick, the divorce was finalized. He got nothing. The judge ruled that marriage fraud meant no inheritance. His family cut him off completely. I felt nothing about it. Not satisfaction, not pity, just nothing. 5 months after I left, I got my own apartment. Small. 1 bedroom, mine. First night alone, I ordered pizza, ate it on the floor, cried, different tears, relief tears. 6 months after I left, I joined a painting class. I've never painted before, I told the instructor. Perfect. No bad habits to unlearn. First painting, all dark colors, abstract. Tell me about this, the instructor said. It's how I feel inside. And what color is breaking through here? She pointed to a tiny yellow streak. Hope, I whispered. Then we're on the right track. Dr. Morrison suggested journaling. Write one thing you like about yourself each day. Day 1, I showed up to therapy. Day 7, I made myself breakfast. Day 30, I laughed at a joke today. Day 90, I didn't think about Patrick for 3 hours. Day 180, I looked in the mirror and didn't hate what I saw. 1 year after I left Patrick, I did something I never thought I'd do. I booked a trip to Paris, alone. Old Elena would never have done this, but old Elena was dead, and new Elena was learning to live. Small hotel in the Latin Quarter, walked along the Seine, sat in cafes, watched people, realized I'm okay alone, better than okay, I'm free. 3rd day in Paris, I was in a bookshop, reached for a book. Another hand reached for the same one. Sorry, he said, looked up. Man about my age, kind eyes, genuine smile. No problem, you take it. Have you read it? He asked. We talked for an hour. His name was Daniel, American, also traveling alone. Would you like to get coffee? He asked. Old panic. Is this a date? What does he want? I'm not ready. New voice. It's just coffee. You're allowed to enjoy coffee. Yes, I said. We spent 3 days exploring Paris together. He didn't pressure, didn't push, just enjoyed my company. Last night, I live in Boston. Can I get your number? I gave it to him. Didn't expect anything. Didn't need anything. That was new. 2 years after Patrick, Daniel, and I had been dating 6 months. Long distance at first. Then he moved to my city for work. We took everything slowly. I told him my story on our 3rd date. I was married for 30 days, never consummated. He was gay. Expected pity. Got compassion. That must have been devastating. It was, but I'm okay now. I can see that. 6 months into dating, his apartment. After dinner and wine and talking until midnight. Elena, he said, I don't want to pressure you, but I want you to know. I want you, all of you, whenever you're ready. Started crying. I'm sorry, he said. I shouldn't have. No, I'm crying because someone finally wants me. Not someone. Me. Specifically, me. And not because you're convenient or safe, because you're you. That night, we made love for the first time. I was 33 years old. It was gentle, honest, real. Afterwards, lying in his arms, Are you okay? He asked. I finally understand what I was missing. Sex? No, being chosen by someone who actually sees me. 5 years after that hotel room in Paris, I ran into Patrick. Coffee shop, Tuesday morning. Saw him across the room, older, thinner, tired. Our eyes met. He approached. Elena. My heart didn't race. I felt calm. How are you? He asked. I'm good, really good. I've wanted to apologize. Really apologize. I was a coward. I destroyed you to save myself. Yes, you did. Silence. I heard you're married now, he said. I am. To someone who actually loves me. I'm glad. You deserved better than what I gave you. I know. Do you hate me? Thought about it. No, I used to, but hating you kept me tied to you. I think about that month sometimes, how terrified you must have been. I was terrified, but it taught me something important. What? That being chosen isn't enough. I needed to choose myself first. He nodded. I hope you find peace, Patrick. I hope you keep yours. He left. I stayed, finished my coffee, called Daniel. Guess who I just ran into? That night, at home with Daniel. He's making dinner. I'm setting the table. Normal, domestic, real. Opened my journal, the same one from therapy. Wrote, 5 years ago, my husband rejected me on our wedding night. For 30 days, I believed something was wrong with me. Then I discovered the truth. He never wanted me at all. I thought that was the worst thing that could happen. But it wasn't. The worst thing was the 30 years before, when I believed I was unlovable. Patrick didn't break me. He revealed what was already broken. And in the ruins, I finally learned to build something real. I spent 30 years believing I was too ugly for love. 30 days in a fraudulent marriage confirmed that fear. But the next 5 years taught me the real truth. The only person whose love I truly needed was my own. And once I found that, real love found me. Not because I was suddenly beautiful, but because I was finally whole. So that's my story. The husband who never touched me was actually the catalyst I needed. He showed me the difference between being chosen and being loved, between needing someone and wanting someone, between filling a void and building something real. I'm 35 now, truly married to a man who sees me. We have a life built on honesty, not performance. And sometimes, when Daniel holds me, I think about that scared 30-year-old in the hotel room, the one who thought rejection was confirmation of her worth. I wish I could tell her, it gets better. Not because someone finally wants you, but because you finally learn you were worth wanting all along. Did you like my story? Which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If this story touched you, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like. It helps me bring more stories like this to people who need to hear them. I'm looking forward to your comments. On the screen, you can see 2 new life stories that I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. See you in the next life story. With love and respect.